stream this. Welcome everybody, welcome. Alright. Let me get this videos queued up for everyone. Okay, let's see. First video should be coming up shortly. Oh.
अपना भी था एक सपना कि एक बड़ा घर होगा अपना, पर यहाँ तो किसी ने पूरा शहर ही बसा दिया। वो शहर जो है हर क्रिप्टोकरेंसी लवर का।
Sounds like you found the
तो
one in a different language.
नमस्कार
Hey, what's
दोस्तों,
going on,
मैं
Dennis?
प्रदीप और आपका स्वागत
Welcome.
है हमारे चैनल फंडामेंटल में।
Yeah, let me
सतोशी आइलैंड एक ऐसा आइलैंड
Hi
जो
guys, how you
बिटकॉइन
doing?
के
You can hear me
निर्माता
well?
Hey, Dennis, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Dennis, welcome. Thank you. Quick question: are we gonna throw?
Welcome to
jump on
Satoshi
video?
Island.
If you would like to jump on video, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right, right, easy. So I just basically allow it. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And there is some feedback on my end. Hey, what's going on, Dennis?
How we doing?
So I do have some feedback on my end. Is there any way that we could get rid of that? Maybe you have some headphones?
Yeah, sure. I'll throw this
Sweet.
on the headphones. 1 second.
Sweet.
Just a quick testing. Can you hear me?
Yep, testing. Perfect. Yep, no feedback
good?
anymore.
Yes,
sir.
Excellent, excellent.
Yep, and just throw if you'd like, throw that video back on. It looks beautiful out there, so it would give our audience members some insight into the kind of weather they'd be dealing with.
Just make sure I'm presentable. There we go, looking good. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's a beautiful easterly breeze coming across right now.
Ooh.
And it's just this is the office. This is where I'll do all my work. You know, this is
We don't see you. We don't
office.
see you at the Dennis.
Oh no. Yeah, excellent. So all right, so hear me well. Everything's well. No feedback.
Yep, hear you perfectly. No
Here we
feedback.
go.
And there we go. There's the video.
There I am. So excellent. Great.
Beautiful.
All right, so I'll probably just set the phone down so I'm not moving around too much.
Look at that view.
Everyone can really enjoy. Everyone can enjoy what I'm enjoying. This is the office. I mean, absolute pleasure to work out of this, baby.
So you're in Vanuatu right now, correct?
I'm on the actual, so I'm on Satoshi Island in Vanuatu. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what we're going to do, Dennis, is we want to give our community members maybe another like 5 minutes to trickle in. I want you guys to have the full audience in here before we get started.
Of course.
And so how long have you been out there for? I know you just flew in maybe a week or two ago.
That's exactly right. I think what's today, like a Monday or Tuesday or something?
Today is a Monday, yes. For us at least.
Yeah, yes. Just over a week. Yeah,
And
just
so,
over a week. I had lots of issues with COVID, so couldn't get here for a while. Got cancelled a couple of times, but yeah, finally managed to get here.
COVID restrictions. Okay. And you know what? We can actually, Dennis. What time constraint do you have? Do you have it's like a you have to cut off at exactly an hour? Can you go for for as long as I guess I have questions for? What's your schedule looking like this morning?
Give me 1 second. Let me check.
Sure.
It. I've got another meeting in 2 hours, which
Okay.
I can postpone, no problem. So we have 2 hours. If we need more, I will definitely jump on quickly and get one of my guys to speak to whoever it is that we need to have a meeting with.
Sweet. Well, I mean,
a discovery call.
I anticipate that we'll be done before then. But who knows? Who knows? I feel like you have a lot to tell us. By the way, this video that we're playing right now, is this the way that you guys are going to be brainstorming the building out the infrastructure of the island?
Yeah, that was the whole idea, to have a mirror metaverse, and essentially this is where you would go and design your setup as you can see it, and then obviously pending final engineering approvals, that's exactly what your house is going to look like in real life.
Okay, beautiful. And you know what? I think I wanna start the AMA a bit early since we already have you here, and I want to be cognizant of your time as well.
Yeah, I would love the promo video. I mean, promo video gets me pumped. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah. So how about that, Acti? Let's run the promo video, and then we can start jumping into the AMA. Beautiful, and I will start recording as well. All right, good afternoon, Whale Coin Talk community, or good morning, wherever you guys are. I'm very, very excited today. We are here with Dennis, representing Satoshi Island. This project has been in the works for quite some time, and we've been talking to them for quite a while, and I'm so excited to finally have them on here. Dennis, before we get started, I know that you wanted Acti to go ahead and play that video, and I think he's going to get that going for us. Before he does, or rather while he's doing that, can you give us a quick background of who you are? Your time in the crypto space and how you got to be on the beautiful Satoshi Island today.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I think I'm as excited to get involved and discuss our vision with your community as you are, because I've been following you guys for a while and seeing the space and what happens in space. And I mean, I love communities in general. That's what crypto is all about. And this one is amazing. Thank you so much. Absolute pleasure being here. Yeah, so I'm somewhat a late bloomer. I did join sort of around the 2017 kind of time. And, the first thing, I had some exposure to some very clever individuals in my life through some other work that I've done outside crypto. So I was very lucky to be involved with the great OGs of Bitcoin and crypto industry, and really suck up all their knowledge, and always wanted to surround myself in those networks, those who are essentially diamond hands and look at the industry as a way of moving forward in the future and really improving the world that we live in with this amazing technology. And we often discussed about having a friendly city or a friendly location where we can essentially have the freedom to innovate and discuss without, being ridiculed, if you like. So this is where the project sort of fell across my lap, and these individuals, we always discuss this, always. And when the company sort of started taking it seriously, and we started brainstorming the fundamentals that we need to have to make sure that this is achievable, and it slowly sort of flourished and established into what it is today. The team grew, and everything happened parallel as we were looking for the right jurisdiction to have this, to make sure this is actually achievable. And we also had to make sure that obviously the space, that we were to one day choose has to be not remote, not too remote, but remote enough to still have some sort of freedom and closed sort of gated community feel, if you like. And of course, we wanted to make sure that the restriction and the governing bodies around that area somewhat open-minded to crypto industry and blockchain technology. The other important thing was zero tax and friendly taxation laws, etc., etc. And this is how we end up finding Satoshi Island. Latara Island in real life is its name, and we just it just ticked all the boxes for us. It just ticked all the boxes, and we started really pushing through the idea and developing the right partnerships with both the local governing communities, the government, etc., as well as reaching out to James Law and seeing what we can do to make sure that we build the future. At the end of the day, we are building the future, so it was important to be sustainable. It was also important to make sure that when we are developing, we have minimum impact on land and things of that nature. And James Law was perfect person for that. And obviously he's now on the team as well, and he's been doing some amazing things for Satoshi Island as far as designing the city is concerned. So that's pretty much it. And of course, as everybody should be aware, we do end up getting an endorsement from the Prime Minister himself, because he was very open and very, we managed to sit down and have a meal. Sit down, COVID. There was no sitting down, but we managed to get that meeting and managed to, explain the overall vision, the overall idea of the blueprint that we can design, which can go forward and really be used by the world globally, to build sustainable cities that, essentially where the community has a lot more power, So it's been a very exciting journey. That's now a 5-year history, and now we are at the business end of our dealings and our fundamentals set up, all the fundamentals that we needed to set up to make sure that it's achievable, and ready to go to the next phase, which is going to be the actual development.
Yeah, and Dennis, really quick, can you give us, or at least I know who James is, but can you give us, our audience members, some insight into who James is, what his role is within the Satoshi Island team, and kind of what value he's bringing to the overall ecosystem that you guys are building?
Yes, so James Law is our chief architect, and James Law runs a very successful architectural firm out of Hong Kong called Cybertexture. And James was, although not into crypto at a time, but definitely had an exposure and understanding of it. And what excited us about James when we reached out is his open-mindedness and his understanding of our future vision. And then when you look at James's way that he was designing all his buildings and all his structures, you can tell that he's always on it is forever on the forefront of his mind, the sustainability, and a high-tech sort of world that one day we'll be living in, but that is also necessary for us to survive and move forward, as a humanity.
Understood. And so James is going to be the primary individual responsible for the blueprint of Satoshi Island. And so Satoshi Island is first and foremost a ambitious real estate project. But at a high level, can you explain to us how you and your team are utilizing blockchain technology and NFTs to build the first ever crypto city?
Absolutely. And this technology is so exciting. And one of the things that we really looked at is the troubles of the bureaucracy and the troubles involved in purchasing real estate right now. There's a lot of steps to jump through, a lot of hoops to get through, and this NFT technology solves all those issues. All the legal system and legal structure will be set up prior. It will be put on, onto that NFT, and essentially that's what you trade. There's no more bureaucracy. There's no more any issues. That NFT gives you whoever holds that NFT gives you exact rights to that block of land, and if you wish to sell it, you would simply put it on any marketplace, and whoever buys it off you essentially buys those rights to that block of land. So it's a very simple in essence, it's a very simple technology when it comes to, you know, selling and buying real estate.
Understood. And so now that you brought up the land NFTs, I wanted to skip over some of my earlier questions and I'll get back to those. But let's, from a high level, what is going to be the minting cost per land NFT? And is there a discount for purchasing multiple?
Absolutely. And this is something that was important to us to encourage, you know, people to actually go and build the city with us. So, you know, I suppose being an NFT project can be somewhat confusing, considering that, you know, yes, we are selling NFTs, but in essence, we are a real estate development project, right? So it was important for us to allow the community. First of all, we have a single land NFT, which is a share of a block, right? And you can get your hands on that one for about 1.55 ETH. Essentially, if you can't afford the entire block, which is again discounted further, and we'll discuss those prices in a second, you can still have an opportunity to be a landowner on Satoshi Island by owning a fraction of a block. But what we did was we reduced the prices the more you buy. So a single land NFT gives you a share of the block, a 10th share of the block. However, if you get the entire 10, then that means you own the block to yourself, you govern it by yourself, and you do with it whatever it is that you please. And we discounted those down to 11 ETH. So if you're buying singles, it's 1.
Hello? Hey guys, can you hear me, or
Yeah,
did we lose Dennis?
I think Dennis
We lost
disconnected.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. Well, we will wait for him to hop back on. I'm sure. Let's see. Let me ping him really quick.
Yeah, it froze for him, so he's probably gonna drop from the VC and rejoin in a few seconds here, guys. Just bear with us.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, there we go. He just dropped now, so he'll be able to rejoin.
Hello?
Hey, Dennis, you're back.
Yeah, guy, I heard you guys. I heard you guys that I was frozen. I was still hearing you talk. So I had to restart the Telegram. I'm back?
Yeah, no worries. We couldn't hear you. You froze and we didn't have any more audio from your end. So, yep.
Oh, yeah. I heard you talking, saying I'm frozen. Am I back now? All good?
Yes,
No
you're back.
problems?
Yep. Beautiful.
Excellent.
Good
So
to
we're
go.
discussing land. Yeah, we're discussing land prices. So better information is, of course, available. We will release it on our Twitter and our website. But it's in essence, the more you buy, the better the price is. And this is to encourage the builders and the partners that are going to create this city with us.
Got it. So each NFT represents a plot of land. If you combined 10 plots, it equals 1 block. And in order to actually build on the island, we need to have 1 block. So two examples that I'm thinking of in my head. One, me as an individual, I go and I purchase an entire block of land, and then I can choose to do with it what I wish. However, Dennis, what if I just buy 1 plot of land? Is there a way for me to get in touch with others that have maybe bought 1 or 2 plots of land and form, I guess, what I would think of as a mini DAO, and then subsequently build on that plot of land? How are you guys planning on connecting respective NFT holders to one another?
Absolutely. And this particular concept is actually very exciting to us because it gives you the true involvement of the community. You know, if you don't have enough funding to buy the entire block for yourself, you can buy a single one. And we will have a system. It's going to be in our metaverse where you can jump in and start discussing things with other individuals that also have singular land NFTs. And actually, before choosing which block you want together, you'll have the opportunity to get to network with them, discuss what their future vision of Satoshi Island is. You know, do we want to sit on the land for a while? Do we want to get together and save some money and buy a block and buy a house and come visit Satoshi Island as a timeshare thing? And obviously talk about all the other stipulations that you're going to have in your mini DAO, and then you'll come together with those individuals that you agree on with, and create the mini DAO and choose the block of land that you guys are going to own on Satoshi Island.
Got it. And I know we're still really early in the timeline, but do you have some insight as to how decisions are going to be made within each respective block? Let's say that Acti he owns 5 plots of land, but Leasehold and I we own 2 or 3 plots of land. So he obviously has a greater voting right. Would he be able to kind of overrule us on certain decisions? I'm just curious because I've never seen hands-on how mini DAOs work. I'm curious to know what your experience is with it, and kind of how decision making is going to work with respect to what is going to happen on a respective plot of land, or excuse me, a respective block of land.
Absolutely. So this is why it's important to get an idea of people's vision for the island in the beginning before coming into a DAO with them. However, if those particular ideas and visions change in the future, and it is going to be a democratic situation where it is going to be based on voting, and if someone has more voting rights within that block, of course, then you kind of sort of have to accept their decision. But in saying that, you're not obligated to commit any finances to building. So for example, if 1 out of 9 says, well, I haven't got any money, I can't say yes to building, then the other parties can continue to pursue the build, and then your share, as far as ownership is concerned, and as far as the ownership of the value that has been built based on what the other people have introduced to the land to give you more value, will essentially be reduced, and we will provide all the mathematics behind that as things happen. However, the other thing that you have in your option, and you can actually remove yourself from that particular DAO and go find something else that suits you better. And obviously it will be, I suppose, a trading system of sorts where someone goes, hey, we've got one person who can't afford to build or who doesn't want to build. Is there anyone else who does? And finds themselves in a flipped situation that wants to come and join us. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It makes perfect sense. And thank you for the clarification on that. Dennis, from a actual real life perspective, how big is each plot of land? I know, or actually, let me rephrase the question. How many acres is the island? And then how big is each plot of land? And then how big is each block of land?
So the block of land, so we need to talk here as block of lands only. So essentially the island is 800 acres, so it's quite big. In fact, it's a lot bigger than it looks in pictures. I was pleasantly surprised the size of the island. The blocks of land that you're going to be acquiring are 18 meters by 20 meters. And a single NFT, there is no size of it. It's essentially a tenth or a share. The best way of looking at it is it's a share of the block, 18 meters by 20 meters size. We've got some very nice illustrations that we'll be providing for everybody to see. And I also measured it out myself live on the island, did a little video and ran around. And 18 by 20, as far as the modular architecture is concerned, is actually quite an established block of land, especially considering the price that you're paying for it on a private island.
Understood. And I definitely want to start talking about those modulars soon, because I think it's a very neat concept. But before we get to that, how, if you mint, or rather, if you form a block of land and you start building on it, do the mini DAO participants or the mini DAO members own that land for life? Is it leased for a certain period? Is there an expiration date? Give us some more logistical information as to how that works.
Yeah, sure. So everyone needs to familiarize themselves with freehold versus leasehold to get more of an idea. But leasehold is a system that allows the original landowners, the original people of the island, to always benefit of their land. And the company takes care of all that. So you do own your land, you have the rights to your land. More information, please go off and educate yourself on the difference between leasehold and freehold. It's exactly the same thing, except the custom landowners benefit from their land forever. So that's the exciting part about that. And yeah, to answer your question, that's right. They forever own it. It's theirs. As long as they own the NFT, they have the exclusive rights to that land.
And what if I own a block of land, but I want to hold off on building? You know, is there a time period where you guys come and say, hey, you know, you've been holding this block of land for 10 years. You know, it's time to either build something on it or you know, we're going to take it away from you. How does that work?
Sure, absolutely no obligations. We don't make anybody do anything they don't want to their block of land that they own. In fact, we will, from our own pocket, out of our own expenses, continue to maintain that block of land for you until the time that you choose that you want to build something on it. No obligations.
And the contracts are all written out. You know, I'm not a real estate expert, but the legal contracts are all written out and kind of associated with each block of land, or rather each NFT. Can you give us a bit more insight about into how that works?
Exactly right, spot on. So all legal contracts are within each NFT, and those will be available for you guys very soon. And you can go off, read it yourself, or if you want to get some legal opinion, you'll be able to grab that contract and you know, and run it past whoever it is that you usually take counsel from, and make your decision like that if that is something that you're looking at.
And Dennis, what is the minimum amount of capital that you guys are aiming for before you can begin developing the island infrastructure?
It is, I mean, it's a difficult question to answer because, you know, obviously, as soon as we start getting interest and we will need to reassess each step of the way. So I think, you know, I think the first sort of number we're looking at is around sort of $15 million mark, which we would most definitely sit down, reassess, and speak to our experts to see where that would get us as far as development is concerned. But a full-on, proper, comfortable development where we can start immediately on our phase one, and as soon as phase one is prepped, start immediately on phase two as the modules are arriving, as we're ordering modules, as well as commission some of our own modules, so we can actually have the ability to invite people on short stay accommodation to view their land, and of course also begin the planning of investing in infrastructure on mainland, such as hospitals, which is going to be of extreme importance. That number is around the $30 million mark.
Certainly. And what happens, you know, if you guys don't, well, actually, I'm going to rephrase the question. One, is all of this funding coming from your NFT participants, or are you having outside investors mutually exclusive to the NFT sale who are also investing in the island infrastructure? And what if you guys maybe don't raise that 15 million number that you're looking for? What happens then? Do you refund the NFT minters? Give us some more insight into that, please.
Yeah, so firstly, the capital to develop is raised only by NFT sales. There's no other infrastructure investment partners as such. So the entire capital is going to be raised by NFT sales. The system that we're about to introduce is going to be a land offering system. So essentially, we're going to put our land up for offers. We're going to show everybody, you know, the conditional offers that we're going to accept, nothing less. That way, we'll be able to ascertain the interest without taking anyone's money, right? So, you know, so we open the offering for, you know, 3, hopefully longer, maybe 3 to 5 days. They'll be able to jump on OpenSea. I believe at this stage it's OpenSea, make an offer for that land, right? And then obviously we'll be able to ascertain the total offers, where we at as far as the total offers is concerned, and only then. And this is also part, you know, states very clearly an NFT contract, how that works. And again, more information is going to come within the next couple of days. Stay tuned. That way you can, for yourself, read it and understand it properly. But yeah, we won't be taking anyone's money unless we're certain enough that we have enough interest, you know, and how close are we to our mark that we know we need minimum of to continue the development or to begin the development. If the interest is obviously enough, and let's say we've reached 15, 16 million in our offers, which means we haven't taken any money yet, it's simply offers. Only then will we commit to accept the offers and go forward. Worst case scenario, even if that happens, if we do accept all the offers and for some reason our budgeting was out of whack and we were totally wrong, we need way more, we need say 40 million, for example, We have a clause in the contract that allows us, obviously allows you and us to basically do a refund, buy our land back, and take our island back to us without you having to be stuck with a block of land without any development.
Beautiful, and I love that. I love that point of departure.
And we all, but in reality, we just want our island back so we can just chill and just be here by ourselves without the beautiful vision that we have created. But yeah, that's how it's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, looking behind you, it doesn't look like an awful place to chill. It looks like you're having a great time there.
I feel so guilty. I mean, I'll be absolutely honest with you. You know, I know the team is working hard. I know everyone has 2-3 hours sleep a night, and we're trying to push this and create the right relationships and this and that and whatever. And I'm like, I'm doing the same. Don't get me wrong. I'm working as hard as everyone else is. But I could go and have a nice little swim and, you know, and enjoy the beautiful sun while I'm doing it. So yeah, I do feel guilty.
I love it. I love it. And Dennis, did you guys lease the island or did you outright buy the island?
Yeah, we acquired the island outright. The Satoshi Island Holdings company that I work for owns the island outright, no leasing. Still, obviously, have a better understanding of leasehold, but yeah, we own the island. And if we, for whatever reason, I hope not, don't come over the line and have to reassess what we do with it, I suppose we just chill and enjoy it and make our decisions then.
Not a bad place to be in. Okay, I want to jump into the really exciting stuff. Right? Dennis, what goes into building a truly sustainable, modern, and innovative modular community? Give us a high-level overview, and then I want to jump into the nuts and bolts of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So the modular architecture that James Lowe came up with looks absolutely amazing. And obviously it's something that already exists. He just had to manipulate it slightly to make it even more, more suitable to the environment that we're going to be building in as far as geological side of things is concerned and sustainability side of things is concerned. But they are so incredibly versatile and so incredibly sustainable smart buildings, you know, and they look luxury as well. So in essence, yes, as far as the technical side of things is concerned, there's a lot to figure out to make sure that, you know, our tech savvy community actually enjoy this kind of modular living. And but yeah, we spent a great deal of time working on it together as a team, and very confident that this will give us the best possible angle to achieve this great vision that we have. And there was a lot of reasons for choosing this form of modular architecture, and speed was a big one. We're very aware that if we are to go with some sort of regular development process, it could really set us back, and we could really take us years to complete this development. However, introducing this amazing high-tech modular architecture mixed with traditional style development, it's as simple as Stage 1, clear the land and prepare for installation. Obviously that will include the solar electrical infrastructure and the sewage systems pre-prepared before the homes arrive. Step 2, obviously get the orders of the modules and get them built in the factory. Step 3, the modules arrive and get installed with a day or so. So as you can see, it just helps us with the speed of the infrastructure, but also they're super versatile. Yeah, super versatile. So in the beginning, as we discussed before, if you get together with your DAO and say, okay, we've raised enough, we raised within our own DAO enough money to buy one module. Yeah, you purchase one, you get it, it gets delivered, and then say the next raise you raised another 90,000 for another module, right? They're so versatile that you can actually order another one with the next shipment of the orders and connect it to your other one and start expanding your home. Very simple, very versatile, very easy to use.
Beautiful.
And of course, totally safe, as Cat 5 proved, blasted with fire hoses, completely safe for the community as well.
So when you say versatile, and I'm kind of reiterating and summarizing what you just broke down for us, you mean they are easy to add to, expand, relocate, and kind of connect to one another like Legos, right?
Exactly right. Perfect way of putting it. Exactly those things. Easy to relocate. Easy to change. Maybe after 12 months you got a bit bored with your layout. So easy to change it, not a problem at all. Like Legos, very easy to put it together and build it as you please.
And so when I hear you describe these things, I'm thinking that, Satoshi Island might be the first smart city in our civilization, right? And for human beings to live on. What would you say makes these modules similar to integrated tech devices, and what are some basic features that they offer?
I mean, it's a great point that you bring up, because right now, as you know, in this tech world that we live in, our phones, our laptops, anything you look at, PCs, any tech equipment that you might own, you're looking at cameras, etc. Everything comes with some sort of extra integration, extra upgradable gadgets that you can sort of, instead of buying a brand new one, you can continue to evolve it and upgrade it, etc., etc. And that's exactly the way you should look at this particular high-tech modules. Essentially, it's just like this big equipment of sorts, where you can upgrade and add and update the software, so to speak, to bring it up to the standard of the living that you want to.
And Dennis, are there different tiers of modules with respect to not just quality, but the feature? And if so, how much does each respective tier cost? And when we do purchase a module, is installation included in the price?
There are two different types of modules, and the only difference is the size. We have the smaller size, which is the 20-footer, and the smaller size allows you to create more of a short stay accommodation. And this is something that we're going to utilize as a company to create, so that we can have communities come and visit a short stay in the beginning of the phases of the development of the project. They are, in essence, no bigger than your standard hotel room, still incredibly comfortable, have all your furniture, comfortably fitted. They're not small by any means. And then we have the next modular building, which is double the size. It's a 40-footer. And that one, from our research, is slightly bigger than your average studio apartment in Europe. And that one is super comfortable to have on its own as a home. And of course, the pricing is at this stage, it's ranging from 60,000 USD for a smaller one to 90,000 USD for a larger one. But that price includes delivery, installation, connection to utility, and it will also come with furniture. Then you can upgrade as you see fit.
Beautiful. And I'm assuming citizens have to build using modulars, and I don't, based on everything you're telling us right now, I don't see why they wouldn't, but could they choose to build a normal house if they wanted to?
As far as the land rights is concerned, this is probably the only bylaw that we will have in place. And this is, you have to use this modular architecture to build on the island. And this will give us a beautiful uniformity of the entire island, as well as gives us the confidence that we know what these modules are capable of as far as withstanding the local conditions is concerned. And we will be very comfortable and confident going ahead, making sure that that is the case.
And Dennis, can we talk a bit, I'm glad you mentioned that. Can we talk a bit more about how the modular homes hold up with respect to natural events like hurricanes and earthquakes, and how often do these things actually happen on the island?
Yeah, so the earthquakes do happen, a fair bit. But when I say a fair bit, I mean you get a little bit of a shake. It's not a big issue. Larger scale situations like Category 5 cyclones don't happen that often. I think the last really bad one we had was Harold, which devastated the communities across the road from us, and that was one of the biggest ones. But those come in rare. Other windy, lesser category cyclones do happen occasionally, but that's exactly, we are aware of all these things, and that's exactly what these modules have been designed for, to withstand and to easily withstand these kind of conditions. The conditions do happen. There's no point of beating around the bush about it, but they happen rare. The really, really wild ones happen very rare. But we are designing this in mind with that knowledge, and going to make it into the most safe community that we possibly can.
Dennis, are there smart cities currently being built in other parts of the world that are utilizing these modules? And also, what is the name of the company that's building these modules?
So the name of the company is Cybertecture, and they have done similar modular style buildings like that for the Hong Kong government to use. So they are already out there in real life, just slightly different. And yeah, so it's not something they're by no means brand new. That's something that needs to be reinvented. They definitely are out there. They already are dealing with the conditions of the Hong Kong conditions have been designed accordingly to that, and they will simply be adjusted and improved for us to be able to deal with the conditions that we have on Satoshi Island.
Beautiful. So the modulars will be battle tested.
Absolutely.
I want to jump into what I find to be I wouldn't say the most exciting part, but one of the most exciting parts of the project. I want to talk about the Citizenship NFT and everything that comes along with it. I know that the Citizenship NFT does not actually mean you hold citizenship to Vanuatu. So what exactly does it entail for holders at a high level? And then we can kind of jump into each intricate utility that it provides with respect to the island.
Absolutely. In essence, Citizenship NFT is probably one of the most important NFTs to possess. That gives you the access to the island. That's the first thing. Without your Citizenship NFT, if you come, if you make your way all the way to the island and come into our beautiful check-in area, get brought by one of our nice ferries, and you come to the island and you cannot check in, where there will be a QR code situation or some other fancy technical situation, you're simply not allowed access. I mean, it's as simple as that. We're going to make everyone very aware of that before they arrive on the island. So that's the first main utility. And obviously, citizenship was a great namesake for us to use as this major access for the island. And that's why it's named that. Of course, it has nothing to do with the actual Vanuatu citizenship. Entry to Vanuatu is very simple. Over 150 countries have a visa-free entry to the island. If you want to extend your stay while you're already here, it's also very, very simple process, very cost-effective, simple process. And of course, if you do have some sort of interest as far as permanent residency is concerned, those options are available for you as well. And because of our connections and because of the people on our team, Daniel Agis to be exact, we'll be able to mainstream to ease those processes for you and help you out with any of those processes if you're required for it to happen. So it's unnecessary. You can still enjoy all the benefits of the tax-free territory without having to be a citizen or a resident of the country. So it's completely up to you. It's completely free choice. And obviously the other utility, the other huge and important utility of Citizenship NFT is once we have completed this development, and I mean all our areas, the south wing, north wing, etc., completed, and it's ready to be properly occupied, we are going to be handing over the entire island to a DAO, and the governance is going to be through those Citizenship NFT holdings.
Wow. And so that leads me to my next question. Apart from that, what other rights, influence, and privileges do the Citizenship NFT holders receive?
So, it's again, so anything to do with introducing some sort of new licensing systems via NFTs, or say perhaps we might have events and conferences running on the island. The first of the communities to get the first dibs, if you like, are going to be of course our Citizenship NFT holders. Furthermore, once we are established, again coming back to having an established city, in the beginning, we're going to, as a company, we will make sure we set up all the other infrastructure as far as restaurants and food distribution facilities are concerned, and other corporate sort of businesses. But then down the track, we want to hand this over to the community, right? Or to the community of people who actually have the expertise in running such businesses. And of course, the very, like a tender, if you like. And of course, the very first people that are going to be offered those businesses are going to be our Citizenship NFT holders.
Beautiful. With there being a 21,000 limit, will there be visitor NFTs that have an expiration date? Also, let's say that you guys have medical facilities, schools, businesses, all that stuff built on the island. Do those people receive a special NFT with respect to being able to stay and live on the island? How does all that work?
I mean, this is a beautiful thing about creating your own city, isn't it? And this is something we'll be openly talking to our community right now. Although the idea of visitor NFTs, short stay NFTs, and things of that nature have come up in conversation, we do believe, and we have to wait and see how it goes, because we do have a level of flexibility when it comes to creating license type NFTs. But when it comes to the citizenship NFTs, we feel that 21,000 is a sufficient enough number, considering the fact that as far as the population on the island is concerned, it will never overcome the accommodation available. So to feed 21,000 people on the island means every single person has to have a villa, or every single person has to have a module. So that's probably very unlikely. So we feel that number is a very comfortable number for anyone to be able to get their hands on it. We feel like it's going to be readily available in the secondary market, considering the fact that we made a decision to give those away for free and not charge for them at all. But in an instant where there is none completely available, or they're well overpriced, and say, for example, to use as an example, a family is coming. You guys own a family owns a block of land. They build themselves a house, and there's 3 adults in the family, but only one managed to get a citizenship NFT, and the other 2 just cannot get their hands on it. Then, of course, we will discuss some sort of visa NFT situation in that regard. Schooling and the same is going to be for schooling, and I'm not sure how NFT is going to work as far as licensing is concerned. I think the NFT citizenship NFTs are only for adults. It's children don't have to have any, so they will be able to have access to that school with no problems whatsoever. But we're definitely going to have NFTs as licensing for things to, if an events company comes to us and says, hey, we want to utilize your island to run events a couple of times a year, then those will come in the form of NFTs.
Got it. And Dennis, I know that these are free to mint, but technically we had to be whitelisted, and a lot of the people that were whitelisted were influencers. They were active members of the community to some degree. Once the mint happens, are these individuals able to go and sell them on secondary markets like OpenSea?
Absolutely. They are free to do whatever they choose to do with their citizenship NFTs. There won't be any restrictions or conditions. It is your NFT. If you were whitelisted, you will get an opportunity to mint your free citizenship NFT, and that's going to happen a little bit after the land sale. And then once you have it minted and it's yours, choose what you want with it. And we do have some really cool, funky designs. So you might be interested in holding on to one, or it's totally up to the holder.
Yeah, I don't see why anyone that was privileged enough to have one whitelisted and drop to their wallet would ever sell it.
I will definitely be buying a bunch. I will be buying a bunch if I see them on OpenSea. I'm just telling you right now.
Right on. That makes 2 of us. Dennis, really quick, I'm curious to know, and I have my own ideas, especially spending time in your community and talking to all the people in Discord, but why have the mints been pushed back so many times, and how much of it has to do with the current market downturn?
It's 100% to do with the market. We again, the only thing we're worried about here is our community. We don't want to risk anyone's funds. We don't want to have anyone panic. As far as it's easier for us to say, and obviously we can back that up through our contracts. It's easier for us to say, let's mint, give us the money. If we don't raise enough, we'll give you a refund, right? It's a very easy thing to say. And like I said, yes, we can back it up with our legal contracts and smart contracts within our system, but it's just a stress that we are not willing to put our community through. So we thought, regardless of the backlash that we're going to get by having these delays, right, it is better to deal with the backlash than deal with people's finances and putting people through stresses of not knowing what's going to happen next. And this is the reason we to be honest, panicked in a way. What do we do? Is the market going to turn even worse? how do we deal with this, you know? But I feel very strongly right now that we have the best possible system that is in a pipeline, and there'll be no more changes, and we're going ahead full steam, and we're going to make this city happen.
And again, Dennis, I think that's just testament to the transparency of your team. You guys have been super responsive from the very beginning. From when I started contacting you and talking to you about coming on for an AMA, I think that especially in this space where a lot of projects are rushed, a lot of community members are like, when, it says something about the team and the vision when you guys kind of take a step back and say, hey, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. We're going to go at our own pace. If you want to stick with us, you're more than welcome to. And if not, no harm, no foul. But we are going to make sure that this launch, or rather this smart city, is going to be built as smoothly and as successfully as possible. So I do definitely appreciate that. And I think a lot of the community members that have been in your Discord for a while feel the same way. I want to talk a bit about island logistics. Now, we did mention that there would be schools on the island, ultimately medical centers. What about hospitals, right? So sure, if I fall over and scrape my knee or have a cut, I can go to a medical center and get that patched up. But what happens in the case of trauma surgeries or, major injuries that require a full functioning facility, or fully equipped facility rather? Excuse me.
Yeah, absolutely. So long-term establishment is obviously we're going to make sure we have quick response teams set up that are essentially ours. Which what I mean by that is that respond to us before they respond to anyone else. And this will be on the mainland. And we're actually very excited about this because we will definitely be investing in local hospital infrastructure and improving it to make sure that it's up to the standard that our community is used to. And the exciting thing about that is, in turn, this is going to help the local communities so much. They have so little, they have such, they have nothing. They have nothing and they have no opportunities. And, and for them to get a proper treatment at a hospital would be probably the most exciting thing in their lives. So we're definitely going to be heavily investing and heavily involved with the local hospitals, local response units, to make sure that our community is safe and responded to as quick as possible.
And are these local hospitals located on the island, or are they located on the mainland? Excuse me.
The hospital will be on mainland, and the mainland is not far at all. So if you just have a quick look, I don't know if anyone can see. So this is just that green land on the other side is the mainland over the water. So we're not isolated by any way. It's not a remote island. We are quite close to mainland, and it will be, obviously the assumption is that we're going to have some sort of helicopter quick response services. So you will be able to be on mainland in the hospital in well under 15 minutes.
And does Vanuatu have that infrastructure already in place? And what I mean by that is, are there helicopter pads that come back and forth? Is there an airport? How quick is the ferry? I mean, it looks like the island is pretty close. It looks like you might be able to swim there rather than mainland. But how does that work?
Absolutely. All this already exists. Vanuatu is not a third world country. They have very good taxi airplane services. They have 2 very good airports, huge port. There are helicopter pilots here that that are here for that sort of business when they need to transport individuals of high wealth. All this infrastructure is already available. It's not an issue at all. Airport is perfectly fine. I don't think we'll be needing to invest any money into the infrastructure of the airport. I've arrived here. There was no issues. Everything was very well laid out for me. I felt very normal. I've been to way worse airports in my life in some of the countries that I have visited. It's very much, Port Vila, for example, and Port Vila is about an hour away from where we are. It's about half an hour flying from where we are. And Port Vila is your sort of main city. And and when you go to Port Vila, it's normal. It's your normal city. You go to the airport, you have your bigger Air Vanuatu airplanes, you have your smaller planes, which are used as a taxi to taxi you around all the other islands. So it's a totally normal, totally normal usable infrastructure as it stands.
So inhabitants will have 24 access to these kind of quick modes of transportation in case of an emergency.
Absolutely, absolutely. We will make sure of that. We'll make sure we have security, 24-hour security on the island to protect, but also help any of the communities that need any help whatsoever. We will definitely have an agreement with Vanuatu police to come and do patrols every now and then to again keep the community safe. All those steps are going to be definitely taken into consideration and completely open and presented to the community for any other ideas that they might have to improve those.
Yeah, and that does bring me to my next question. Obviously, the governing entity is the Vanuatu government that sets the rules and regulations of the island. But who specifically is going to be in charge of safety, stability, and resiliency issues? Is it going to be the local Vanuatu police? Are you going to hire private police that are armed? Give us some more insight as to what that's going to look like. Who are the licensed authorities, and who are they appointed by?
Yeah, it's a great question because we are a private island. The entire entity of the island is going to be under private jurisdiction. So we do have a level of freedom, if you like. Common laws are, of course, going to be under Vanuatu, and those, we would not risk by any chance of changing. But as far as hiring the security forces and things of that nature, it is going to be via the company, done by the company, and those legislations will be set based on reaching out to the community and asking them, their opinion on it.
And I wanted to touch base on something you mentioned earlier, and it's with respect to the locals. Obviously, the locals on Vanuatu are they're a big concern to you. You said a big goal is to kind of pump money back into the economy, help build out that infrastructure, give back to this island that is giving us so much. But what are you guys doing to ensure that these people are not exploited the way? And I hate to bring this up, but I think we're all familiar with the infamous Fire Festival. So what are some ways that Satoshi Island aims to benefit the local economy, and how do you plan on preventing exploitation of locals via cheap labor?
Oh, absolutely. We will definitely going to have rules, laws set in place, which will be very open to our local community. It's definitely extremely important to us because you're spot on. They are beautiful, simple people, and it will be very easy for the wrong kind of person to exploit that. So we will definitely have rules set in place which the entire community will be aware of. But at the same time, I think a good system will be that if we essentially, look after the local people as a company, and everything is going to be transparent and open. So I think the best way to approach that would be to have set rules with the entire community, also ourselves be completely transparent of exactly what sort of conditions the local staffing get, how much they get paid, etc., etc. We have absolutely no issues with that whatsoever. I think moving forward from here, the goal is transparency, and that's what blockchain technology is all about.
I love that. And Dennis, you might have mentioned this earlier, but are there locals currently living on Satoshi Island, or is it just you guys?
Living, no. So I get some stuff. I pick them up from the mainland just to help out with some clearing and help me out with. Obviously, all I do is work. Absolutely nothing else. So we have infrastructure on the island already. We have 5 villas here, and obviously all this needs upkeep. And unfortunately, doing 18 hours of relationship building and talking to people and AMAs does not leave me much time for house duties. So what happens is I do have staff quarters here as well, but usually they don't stay here for more than a couple of nights. They've got their own home, they love their own villages. I'd go on mainland, pick them up, bring them here. They help me out, and then they go back home.
And how do they feel about the notion of Satoshi Island?
I actually have an amazing story for you to tell to answer that question. So when I first arrived, I arrived in Port Vila, and it's quite far away from Santo as far as almost like two different islands is concerned. You've got this main sort of capital city where there's a lot of expats, a lot of other different mixed communities, and you have center, which is more of your local population, maybe not as many expats. And when I arrived, I had a meeting with one of the individuals, and they took me to this little bar on the beach, and we had a beer and we had a beautiful catch up, because this was the first time I arrived. I've spoken to all these people for over 5 years, but this is the first time we meet face to face, and it was amazing. It was a lot of fun, very amazing. And I was wearing my, of course, was wearing my Satoshi Island t-shirt, and we're sitting at the bar and having a drink. And I kid you not, the amount of local people that approached me and said, "Oh my God, you guys are that Satoshi Island thing." They were so excited. I felt like this superstar. I'm like, yes, everybody knows me. I am famous. It was amazing to see. It was really, really something good. So in my opinion, based on those kind of reactions, and based on the other chatter that I hear from all the locals, both expats and the original Nivans, they're super excited. I mean, they've been destroyed. Their lives have been destroyed through COVID and and things of that nature. And the only opportunities that they had were hospitality and tourism, and that is non-existent. And to be quite honest with you, when is it coming back? When? We don't know. Everything is unknown. So I think from that point of view, they're very excited to have something permanent that doesn't necessarily rely on tourist seasons or pandemics or any other external influence.
So Dennis, first and foremost, I think it's beautiful that you're being embraced with open arms. I'm curious to know, with the COVID restrictions currently in place at Vanuatu, is it going to be hard for citizens of Satoshi Island to fly there and come and live? What are those restrictions going to look like?
Yeah, so the restrictions are dropping. 1st of July, they're opening up without any restrictions, no quarantine.
Nice.
I think they've already scrapped the masks. So yeah, the things are easing. It was difficult, and it would be impossible until that date. It took me a while myself to get here. But in saying that, the journey here was straightforward. It was a couple of days quarantine, and then you're out. And I was able to come to Satoshi Island. But that is improving. Yeah, 1st of July, they're scraping for get into a little bit of personal things. My partner, I have to leave. I'm from Australia originally, so I have to leave my partner behind. She wasn't able to make it here. She wasn't allowed. So on 1st of July, I've got her the flight. She's coming. She's going to be my cameraman. Watch out for more live footage from the island. But yeah, so it is definitely easing and definitely improving.
How can we get our hands on some of that swag?
I'll come over. Let's have a drink. Let's teach each other.
Okay, right on. And you talked about this briefly earlier in the AMA, but I wanted to touch on it again. How exactly does the island receive water, electricity, resources? Also, is there going to be a central facility for shopping and buying supplies on the island, or do we need to go to the mainland in order to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're running on solar. We have rechargeable batteries, so everything runs on solar, and then we have backup recharge batteries. And worst case scenario, we have a generator as well, which I believe hasn't been used in over 18 months. I think you need something like a week straight of no sun, to have the need for the generator, and that's essentially the system that we're going to use. Each modular house, as it comes in, it's going to have their own solar battery. It then will also be connected to the main grid of that area to further use the solar that's going to be collected through there, as well as backup batteries in there. And of course, we just have no choice but to do it, just in case, a backup generator, just in case. And water is not an issue at all. We have this beautiful natural source of water under the island, and it is huge. I mean, there's not knowing if it ever going to end. But at the same time, we have very nice source of rainwater, filtered, unpolluted rainwater, which is also get collected and we are in a rainforest essentially. So we.
Oh no, I think we might have lost Dennis again. Acti, Dizzle,
It's
Glenn, can you
frozen.
guys hear me?
It's
Okay,
frozen
cool.
again. Just give it a
Yep.
minute. Yeah.
Dennis, I think you can hear us just like last time. So maybe disconnect really quick and rejoin because we. Yep.
Yeah, I think he's reconnecting now. Yeah, should be good.
Sweet. Nice. And once he gets back, Glenn, I know you had a question. Acti, if you have a question, definitely you guys ask away, and then we'll move on to community questions as well. But I definitely have some more to go through. What's up, Dennis? We got you back, huh?
Yes, I would hate talking to myself. I did hear you guys that I was frozen again. I would just keep on going, tell the whole story. Yeah, so so that's essentially what we're using for electricity. That system is going to be scaled based on the uptake of modules coming in. Obviously carefully calculated based on the demand that we would feel is required. Of course, we'll always have backup of extra solar panels, etc. Water is not an issue. Plenty of water here, rainwater, non-stop. Collecting thousands and thousands of liters of water won't be an issue. Very difficult to run out. Worst case scenario, we can do a pipe underwater from mainland, but that will not be necessary whatsoever. And the same goes with for a sewage and wastewater system. We have a system where everything goes deep underground and gets naturally filtered, and essentially almost becomes like part of the island's ecology. All those systems are going to be used. It's going to be reviewed by professionals, scaled accordingly, and made work in place.
Beautiful, and that kind of answers one of my questions. The plan for using renewable resources such as wind, water, and solar powered energy. It sounds like you guys are already on that path, and the ultimate goal will probably be to be completely self sufficient with that respect. With respect
Absolutely,
to that.
that's the goal. Yeah, exactly. That's the goal. We're thriving for 100% sustainable, and we will use all the latest technologies. We will use all the great. The beauty about this is that the network of individuals that we're building that have these amazing minds, right? Our network reach is going to be amazing. So all those with great ideas and innovative things that are already probably in place, they're going to be coming to us and saying, "Hey, you've got this, but I can give you this to improve it even further." And we will welcome those people with open arms.
Got it. And Dennis, how big is the team currently?
So we have 4 team leaders, and each one of us have other members that we use, whether we use permanently or on consult basis of our own. So the team is actually not that big at all. So it consists of Daniel, myself, obviously James, but I mean, when you look at it that way, then you've got James, and you can imagine the team behind James, which are all, to do with Satoshi Island. Myself, I've got lots of a huge network of people that I consult to, and huge network of development partners from back in Australia, and things like that. So again, it's just me, but then the team behind is quite huge. The people who are able to consult and help and advise. And the same goes with Ben. Ben, our communications manager. You don't see him around too often, but he's always in the background. He's organizing all the communications leads for us, and again, working very hard with his own sort of team of individuals. So this is the way we sort of design things from the very beginning, and it's a very sort of non-hierarchical system of democracy where everyone always gets together, makes the decisions together, and not one particular person is above the other. It works really well.
Understood. And really quick, Dennis, I do have some more questions for you, but one of my co-hosts, Glenn, wanted to ask one from you. Glenn, go ahead and untune your mic and ask away, man.
Okay, Dennis, yeah, I've been to Vanuatu when I worked on the cruise ships. They're very nice people. It's great islands that they have there, and yeah, I think we've touched on this, but I'm just wondering on the aspects of the modules you'll build, the solar, the maybe wind turbines in the sea as well in the future, and the sustainability of the fishing for the island, and yeah, all around that sort of aspect of yeah, what you plan in the future for Satoshi Island.
Well, I mean, the future is the future, and we're just going to look in all the latest innovations as far as new technology is concerned, and we're always going to be open-minded to improve the technology that we're using. And I suppose that's the answer. You know, we haven't calculated anything. We haven't used any tools to calculate our exact sustainability levels, but we are thriving for the best, and we're very open to talking to people who have great technologies already in place to come forward to us. It's essentially a catch-22 for us to organize all those things now and then not be able to sort of move forward with it and you know, continue to work with these partners will be a bit of a sad waste. But if we are to, you know, begin the development, and the systems are already in place and the systems are going to be 100% working and scaled, we will be open to those networks of people coming in and saying, hey, you're doing this and it works fine, no problems, but check this out, I can make it even better. And that's going to come from the community and our network of contacts.
Great, Dennis. And the land area, you know, the trees and the wildlife on there, you know, are you looking to sustain it and make the modules around, you know, the island that will, you know, protect the island for animal species and and the trees and whatever is there.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So we have identified areas all over the island where, you know, we're going to leave this beautiful natural walkthroughs, and it is gorgeous. I actually have to do some more videoing of that. And that area is going to be untouched. There will be no development around those areas. And of course, any other development on mainland of the island. The only trees that have to be removed are obviously those who, for safety reasons. For example, we want to make sure there is nothing that is the height of the tree that is next to the building that might fall and you know, and endanger somebody. So we will be removing those. We are pledging to plant more trees for every tree we remove. So we're going to make that transparent and available for everybody to see. And by no means we're here to destroy the habitat. The place is beautiful. I would not allow it. I've been here for a week now, and I am amazed on how beautiful the place is. We definitely have enough nature left behind, plenty of nature left behind to experience for everybody what I am experiencing right now. That beautiful, the chirping of the birds and the greenery around. It's just amazing.
Denise, I'll take it back to Noah.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Those are some good questions. Dennis, this is a huge project. I haven't really seen anything like this over my last 5 years in this space. Do you think there's anything else like Satoshi Island currently happening?
I am not aware of it. I do know that there were similar ideas, but not executed as well. Like I told you before, like everyone is aware, it took us 5 years to build, the foundation of the project. 5 years to build the foundation to be able to comfortably say, here's our list of issues that we're going to face that we have ticked off and overcome. Let's now start talking to our community. We're not interested in anyone's funding during that phase of the project. We did it all ourselves. We put in our own time and our own efforts into this. And now it's the community's turn. Now that we have produced this, this base for everybody to use, now it's your turn.
And obviously, AMAs have become a huge way to kind of spread awareness. But what are some of the other primary marketing strategies you and your team are using in order to spread the word of your project?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's always easy to put a huge budget for our marketing and go and have some prominent speakers talk about Satoshi Island. But it was extremely important for us for money not to be the motivator. We want the vision and the idea to be the motivator, and we want to use our product, our real estate, real land, real estate as a product to say thank you if we have partners. If there's people come on board and say, I've got huge influence in the industry. I'd love to be involved in some sort of capacity, but instead of send me a couple of Bitcoin, it's like, thank you very much. We appreciate you know, we appreciate you coming out and doing this for us, and let us reward you with real estate on the island, something that you can use for yourself and do what you please with it. So right now we are after communities and after you know, influential figures in crypto space who have been around forever and understand our community as a whole, our crypto community, and those who are interested in our project or even have heard about our project, please get in contact with me. We do have nice offers for you as far as real estate, proper real estate on the island is concerned. Let's get together. Let's have a conversation. You know, we really love that kind of influence and those kind of thought leaders in space to be able to be part of our project.
And Dennis, with that said, I feel very fortunate to have, you know, been one of the early people whitelisted for not just the Citizenship NFT, but the privilege of minting a land NFT. I am getting quite a few messages from my community members asking if it's still possible to get whitelisted. Is that something you guys are still doing, or is the registration pretty much closed right now?
Unfortunately, whitelisting has been closed. So again, more details of how the system is going to work is coming. Very nice, detailed, foolproof system is coming. But essentially, whitelisting has stopped, and they have concluded. Those who managed to get on a whitelist, you know, they're fortunate enough. All their offers are going to be accepted first. You know, at the time of us opening up the land to purchase. So that is a benefit of getting whitelisted still. That's still the fact. And of course, all those who are whitelisted also are getting a Citizenship NFT. Unfortunately, everyone else, but you know, would have to, you know, still make an offer on the land and hope that you know, that we still have enough to be able to allow everyone else to participate as well. I mean, this is the exact reason why we increased the supply, to make sure that, you know, there is enough land NFTs available for everybody else to be able to get involved as well. 21,000 in total, as opposed to 5,620 originally. So now we can open it up to the entire community. Whitelisting has stopped, so they do get the first dips. But I'm sure there's enough land for us to be able to attract the rest of the community as well, and the rest of the community are not going to miss out.
And when will that kind of mini metaverse be built out where people can actually jump in and start brainstorming about where they want their where they want their modulars built and all that good stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we are, you know, the timing is crucial. We all know how tech can be. We do have a beta version already. It's looking good. It's looking beautiful. The island looks grand in the metaverse. Not as good as it does look in real life, but it does look pretty damn good. So, you know, it's just about us making sure the timing is perfect. Obviously, you know, we'll definitely have it available in some sort of capacity as soon, you know, as soon as we accept everyone's offers. It's going to be available immediately. If not, it's going to be available as soon as possible after. We will definitely be focusing on that to make sure it's available for our community.
Got it. And Dennis, I am going to start calling on community members soon. I've tried to ask as many good questions as I can possibly think of. Is there anything that I haven't covered that you wish to share with us?
I think that was an excellent conversation. I think everything was definitely discussed in detail. It's hard to think of anything else. I'm pretty comfortable. I think we covered most of the things in detail. I think maybe we didn't discuss logistics in detail as far as the food distribution is concerned on the island and how it's going to be. No, I think we discussed that in the beginning as well. Yeah, let's open it up. Let's open it up to the community members. Let's see what questions they have.
Cool. And really quick, yeah, we did talk about food distribution. Do you want to reiterate that again for people that are tuning in just late? Because I think that's really an important point. You know, is there going to be a central facility for food that's going to be on the main island, or will you guys have something built out on Satoshi Island itself, maybe grocery store or something like Costco?
Yeah, well, it's exactly right. I mean, you know, essentially, you know, that's the best analogy to use. We'll definitely have a food facility on the island, which is going to be stocked up with everything that is necessary. Again, just to expanding a little bit further on that, if there's something that that food facility doesn't have, but there is demand for it, the community is more than happy to ask, hey, get us some mint sauce. There's no mint sauce in our food facilities, and we will organize it. So, and that facility is obviously going to be run by its own wing of professionals to make sure that they never run out of necessities. And that facility itself is going to be filled up from mainland. That essentially it is going to be like running a shopping center where they're going to make sure that everything's always filled, all the foods is always that is the most required on the island is always available. That would also serve as a source of supply for the for the restaurants and cafes on the island as well. The only thing that is not unclear is a little bit unclear right now is, do we go a little bit crazy and do a drone delivery system in place, or some sort of unmanned vehicles that are going to be doing the deliveries around? But again, and that's what I'm talking about, the innovations are, there's so many things available, or do we just have people coming in and making online orders and picking them up? So all those things are exciting in the future, but it won't be an issue. We have a huge supply of town an hour away. That will come into the central distribution of food on the island, so everyone will always have access to food and goods and be able to never run out of those.
Yeah, Dennis, and I think everything we've discussed, rather that you've educated us on with respect to Satoshi Island, is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the future of smart cities. So I believe you guys are going to continue to innovate as you go. It's you don't have to have a complete vision, and I'm very, very excited to see what you guys are going to build within the next 5 years.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and you're spot on. We're creating new grounds. So how are we supposed to know what the future is going to look like? We are what we do have behind us is an amazing community, a huge network of contacts, and that shows me that we will pick the best possible innovative scenarios, and we will really create this blueprint of an amazing futuristic smart city, fully sustainable and fully run by the people.
Great. And I did have a lot of our community members submit questions to me, and some of those rather were integrated into the script that I had written out. I have some hands up and I want to call on them right now. They probably weren't able to submit those questions to me, so I'm going to let them go ahead and ask. Western Beast, you're first.
All right. This is actually a very great project. You've explained it in quite massive amount of detail. So my Telegram was asking also, maybe I didn't get this part. Would you have a court system on this Satoshi Island? Because there's definitely going to always be people who flaunt the rules. You already talked about the police and all. Would you be having a court system for people who do not respect the rules of the island? And by one of the major forms of disrespect will be people who are making harming the ecosystem of the island. What will be the punishment for people who try to flaunt the rules?
I mean, at this stage, obviously, it's just speculation. We haven't, thought any about any of those things in detail. But it's a great question. It's a great concern to bring up. And essentially, again, it comes back down to the majority of the community. I believe that if someone sees something like that happen, the community is responsible, and the community will decide whether this person should be given a second chance, another chance, or whether this person should lose their spot on the island. So there won't be any official legal systems as far as courts are concerned, but most definitely such decisions will be made together with the community, and we can only hope that we get a very beautiful community of respectful individuals. But of course, we understand that things like that happen, and I feel like the best approach for this would be to ask the community's involvement in this, because at the end of the day, it is their city.
Wow, this will be a very efficient system. That's one of the major things that actually keeps any project going, community involvement. I really appreciate your answer. I'll be listening to the AMA to maybe to get parts that I actually missed out. I really appreciate your answer, Dennis. Over to you, Noah. Wishing the very
My
best of the
pleasure.
project. Stay bullish to the moon.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Western. Next up, we have Venice.
Thanks, Noah. Actually, you almost covered everything. My all questions almost were answered by you. But I have a question. So I was wondering, do you plan to restrict a citizenship NFT transfer from wallet to wallet or anything else to track the NFT if that has been used before while entering into the island? Because I think if someone has entered into the island successfully, then he can send it to his friends or relatives so that they can enter as well.
That's a great question, and I'm sure we'll implement systems to avoid that. It does make sense that if you enter the island and you send it to somebody else, we will definitely have some sort of almost like a staking system where if you are entering the island, essentially you're staking your NFT. It cannot be moved until the time that you exit the island.
Okay, and one more thing I want to know about, do you have any plan to onboard any influencer or celebrity who has a villa on your island so it can motivate the fans to buy the NFT land beside that influencer's villa to become his or her neighbor?
I don't want to speculate. I don't want to drop any names because obviously until the deal is done, it's not done, right? But we are looking at some very prominent celebrity figures, which we're offering to build a home for them. And I can only imagine if one of these deals comes through and they do accept our offer, I agree, it's going to be a very exciting proposition.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for answering, and you have a really great project, a crypto project with real use cases. That is amazing, and thank you so much. Over to you,
I
Noah.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Venice. Next up, we have Acti.
Yeah, hi Dennis. I've been listening and it all sounds super exciting. I know a lot of people are kind of fanboying around this and it looks great. Now, my main concern everywhere I go, everywhere I travel, right, is how good is the internet? Because we're all in crypto, we're all working, 24/7. So I need to know, is there broadband? Is there how stable and how reliable is it? Can I get Starlink there or what's the situation?
Yeah. Exactly right. Exactly right. And I think you've hit the nail on the head. Of course, we're going to be shooting for the best possible internet connections. Right now, I'm on satellite, and it works perfectly fine. I've got no issues. I haven't got any connectivity issues. There is Vodafone here. I'm not sure if it's a thing globally, but there's Vodafone here. There's local network providers. But at the end of the day, we will have the network of connections to get our own incredibly solid system in place, such as Starlink. So it will definitely would need to be expanded and infrastructure need to be scaled up. But we have them. Once we onboard enough people with enough network of contacts, it's not an issue. We'll definitely scale it up to make sure that we have free internet, all covering the entire island at top possible speeds.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good. And I've had some people, we have people DMing us questions and all that. And one of the funnier one was like, what happens if somebody decides to birth their child on the island, further down the line? And I mean, my reply was, I guess they must be getting a citizenship NFT, if you decide to do that. So at least you'll be getting that. So yeah, it sounds super amazing. So
I mean, it sounds
everybody's
like an
excited.
exciting event. Can you imagine? Firstborn on the island. That would be exciting. And you know what? And absolutely, we will create some sort of diamond NFT for the firstborn on the island. No doubt in my mind, they're going to be like a royalty of the island.
Yeah, they
Really.
might be wearing it as a badge and honor, for first child to be born, first people to be wed on the island, first people. Yeah, it sounds exciting. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
Those are some great questions, Acti, and like I kind of opened up my mind. The sky's the limit with this, Dennis. I feel like you guys can do so much going forward, and really, you're trailblazers, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We do feel somewhat pioneers. But at the end of the day, like, the ambition behind this project is the important part. Where would we get if we didn't have the huge ambitions of creating something of this magnitude, you know? And but we feel confident and comfortable because we know that we have the entire crypto community behind us. Our job is to get it out there for everyone to know. And you know, and once we have that band of supporters, then there's absolutely nothing that can stop us together as a community.
Certainly. Next up, we have Justin. Justin from the SIC Foundation. Take it away, buddy.
G'day, guys.
Hello, Justin.
Brother, how are you?
Really good, mate.
So my question was around the sale. When it becomes sale day, you're going to open up for the initial offering event. Will people be able to outbid you if you place your bid for, you know, the market price which SI is listing for? You place your bid for your 4 blocks of land or whatnot. Can you be outbidded by that?
Absolutely not. So this is where the whole whitelisted situation comes in, and it's going to start with how you know, we had the booking system and a lot of people used it really well, but a lot of people had a lot of issues with it. So we have everyone's wallets in our back end. We see exactly whose wallets the bids are coming from, and those will be accepted first. We will not be accepting any higher bids. Our step-by-step process is going to be round 1. All those who supported us earlier, who went through the booking system, already managed to book themselves some lands, those will be the first offers to be accepted. The second lot of offers to be accepted is going to be our whitelisted community, and only round 3 is when we're going to start looking to accept the highest bids.
Yeah, nice, perfect. Thanks for that, mate. All right, so if I'm just thinking, like, you're gonna have to use a tool if I want to go and bid, like, I'm chasing like 6 blocks or something. So if I want to go and bid, which is 60 NFTs, so if you're going to bid on 60 NFTs, you're going to need some sort of tool to go ahead and help you smash that out.
Yeah, that's right.
And do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the system's going to come, and all the information is going to be available for you guys. It's a very straightforward system. In actual fact, for SIG Foundation, will be very easy because it will be very easy for me. Well, not necessarily, because unless somebody else buys 66 NFTs, but yeah, I have everyone's wallets, and I will be accepting offers from our initial supporters first, and I have that available to me in the back. You will see how the system works. Everything will come out, and I think once it comes out and once you be able to read it, you will understand how you will still benefit being the early supporter, and you will still benefit, and you have no fear of missing out whatsoever. The initial supporters and the whitelist communities will be included first.
Bloody excited, mate. Thanks for that.
Can't wait.
Hey, great questions, Justin. Thank you. We got Alemania Miguel next.
Hey, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are. Hey, Dennis, good morning. So,
how are you?
I'm good. So, when Actor was asking this question, I noticed when someone said, if it's possible for someone to give birth to, and right there in the island, the first baby. I remembered there was a movie like that called Downsizing, and this was something that happened right in Downsizing. I don't know if you watched the movie. So my question actually was when I was reading the website.
Matt Damon, right?
Downsizing. That's the
With Matt Damon, he's saying.
Right. Downsizing. Yeah. So when I read through the website, I saw that you have 21,000 citizen NFTs, and that got me thinking that are you opening up the citizenship for only 21,000 persons, or you're planning on going higher than that?
Well, it is going to be 21,000 and no more. But in saying that, it doesn't mean that you're going to have 21,000 people on the island in any one time. Obviously, some people will be holding multiple citizenship NFTs. I know in the beginning we had the one per wallet situation. That's not going to be the case. You could be able to have multiple that you can use for perhaps, as a corporate side of things for your community. as far as population on the island is concerned, it's going to be based on accommodation available. And because we're blockchain and because everything's available right there for us to view and monitor, that's how decisions are going to be made as far as who's allowed on the island or not. We definitely don't want another fire festival situation. It's just one of the situations that we have to adhere to, because what's the point of you coming if there is nowhere to stay? And that's how we're going to make our decisions as far as accommodation is concerned. That's why we feel that 21,000 number is sufficiently big enough. And if there is too much demand, and I'm not sure, I think I spoke about this to a couple of communities. If there is a lot of demand, the only thing we can do is Satoshi Island 2.0 to be able to accommodate that.
That's really nice. That's really nice. So just a quick one. Recently, in recent years, some countries in Africa, for example, Nigeria, the government's authorities have kind of placed a restriction on cryptocurrencies and banking on the banking facilities. So, and I know that in these countries, especially Nigeria, when they're going into something like real estate, for example, they prefer when they're buying something, they're buying a piece of land, a piece of building, they pay you in cash, and just give them the papers, the keys to the building or to the land, and they just walk away. So in this case, whereby they are facing issues like this, whereby they can't go into cryptocurrencies for the
I think we
Do we
lost
still
him
have?
there.
Do we still have
sorry,
Emania? I think we
sorry
might.
about
So
that.
I think. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Go on. So go on.
Yeah. So my question: do you kind of have anything in place to kind of help this ones, or to kind of override this that has been put in place for this ones to kind of join in or be part of this community, your community, until they'll be living in the island?
So I don't 100% understand the question, but I think it's to do with what if government sort of bans the banking system in cryptocurrency? Is that then sort of, is that the right track? Am I on the right track of understanding the question?
Not so. Okay,
Yeah,
let me put it
Alemania,
this way.
if you can speak up for us a bit,
Okay.
because I also have a very hard time understanding what you're saying.
Okay, sorry.
No, no
Am I
worries.
better? Am I better?
Yeah, you're better now. Go for it. Try it again.
No, we can hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, this is how it works. In Nigeria, for example, the governmental authorities kind of place a restriction on citizens kind of going to cryptocurrencies using the banking system. So, um, individuals who want to be part of the citizens of the islands, based on the fact that they have a restriction on the bank on cryptocurrencies and the banking system, is there a way that you could help them out so that they could be part of your city of the islanders, so they could be part of the citizens of the islanders, and yet they are not kind of breaking the rules on the governmental authorities?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a different question to answer, because of course it all depends on the jurisdiction that you're from. As far as I'm concerned, though, if you are to create some sort of I mean, this will be a question for obviously a legal department, legal team, and it will also be a question for the accounting team as far as the entities that you have created are concerned. My understanding that if you create an entity, there are options to create entities within Vanuatu without having to be in Vanuatu or citizen or resident or anything like that. And that in itself will give you access to Satoshi Island without breaking the rules of your own jurisdiction. So it is, as far as laws are concerned, it is a little bit of a complicated question. You definitely need to discuss with legal teams on your end. But as far as on our end is concerned, yeah, absolutely. We are more than happy to discuss opportunities for everyone and see if there are some proper legal ways of going around and allowing these people to purchase our NFTs without stepping over and being in a legal kind of way.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I get the point. Thank you. Thanks, now.
Yeah, thank you for the questions, man. Dennis, that brings us to the end of the AMA. I was so excited to have you guys on today. We've been going back and forth for a while. I mean, you guys are the first crypto city, crypto capital of the world ever. So it's very exciting.
Yeah.
And for people that are tuning in late, because we do have some late participants, can you give us a quick summary? And I want you to do this because this is your. Can you give us a quick summary of who you are, what you guys are building, and why people should start paying attention to Satoshi Island and the future of the next crypto capital of the world?
Yeah, thank you so much. It has been an absolute pleasure. I loved every single question. I always get super passionate about the project, and sometimes I tend to just rant and rant and rant. So I absolutely appreciate you, Noah, and I appreciate how amazingly everything is organized and it creates this really nice, informative story. My name is Dennis, and I've been lucky enough to be part of a project called Satoshi Island. And what we're doing is we are building a private island. The company owns a private island in Vanuatu, which we are about to develop to become the crypto capital of the world, with a completely friendly crypto lifestyle where 100% of the economy is going to be in crypto, and everything on the island is going to be represented utilizing the amazing technology of blockchain and NFTs.
Beautiful. I can't wait, Dennis. And I'm sure you guys are going to give announcements with respect to the land mint, the citizenship mint, and all of that good stuff. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Again, go ahead.
Yeah. Pleasure. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I just want to quickly say, keep on following our Twitter, jump in our Discord. Information is going to be available through there. All our main links are, of course, going to be only on our official social channels. I think we're just going to have one link on our website to make sure that community is safe. Community doesn't get in trouble with scammers. We know it exists. We have to educate ourselves consistently and be very careful. So keep an eye out. More information is coming. Follow our socials. Noah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Dennis, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us today. And Whalecoin Talk community, remember, we are an educational channel. We do not give investment advice. Everything you hear on Whalecoin Talk is for your knowledge. It's for your learning. Do your own research, invest only what you're willing to lose. But I will say that Satoshi Island is one of the most exciting projects that I've read about, learned about, and I'm very, very excited to personally be involved with them going forward. So definitely check them out. We're going to share their socials in the main chat and join their Discord. Dennis and the community members, and the team members have been very engaging, very responsive. They will answer any and all questions you have. And I'm very, very excited for the future of the first crypto capital of the world.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Love you too, Dennis. Take care. Alrighty, I think we're doing a spin here, Acti, or no spin right now?
No spin for right now. Just,
cool. All right, give me the members. Yeah.
Pure unadulterated, good projects here. Like this was
that's right.
A pretty cool one to have, and yeah, I'm grateful for everybody for tuning in and staying till the very end. I know sometimes they can be a little late, they can run over time and all that, but we've had a great audience and great questions, and it's awesome to be able to talk to people that are building something really, really cool out there. And you never know, maybe in 6 months time they'll come back and say, hey, I remember we were talking about this. There we go, we got like our first 3 mini condos here and whatnot. Who knows with this kind of stuff, to be honest.
All right, everyone, well, we'll see you tomorrow. We have some exciting AMAs taking place. Stay tuned and take care.
All right, cheers everybody. Bye.
Cheers.